Hello and welcome to my channel. Today we're going to make a beautiful double-sided charcuterie board with the Roycycled Ephemeral Burlap Decoupage paper. I'm starting with a board that I have painted 2 coats of white so my decoupage paper will pop, and I've also coated it with 3 coats of Wise Owl's 1 hour enamel in matte. The first thing I'm going to do is separate the designs because we're going to work on one side of the board at a time. You'll notice that the paper is just a little short for the entire board, but no worries, we're going to address that handle as we go along. So to do that, what I want to do is take a brush that I have dipped in water, and I'm going to do a wet cut along the top of the paper. I do this so that when I piece the papers together, it looks very organic and not pieced together. There are no harsh lines. So to tear that paper, I just gently use my fingers and go all the way across the top. Once that's done, I'm going to position my paper in place, and I'm laying a Teflon sheet to protect my paper from my iron. And I have my craft iron set on the highest setting. This iron has no steam, and I'm going to iron that decoupage paper onto the board. This is a great way to avoid wrinkles. However, when we apply our top coat, we are going to get a few wrinkles, but no worries. The best advice I can give is to be patient, trust the process, and those wrinkles will go away. I'm going to cut away the excess because this just gives me a little bit more room and flexibility as I'm sanding off the edges. So I'll just trim the excess paper on all sides. I'm going to set these little pieces aside because that's what's going to work for this handle. I'm going to choose the design that I want at that handle, and I'm going to wet cut that also so that where it meets the other paper, again, it just avoids having a piece together, 2 straight edges matching. And so this is a great tip to either tear or wet cut your paper when you're having to do any piecing of them together. Once I've got my design in place, I'm going to go ahead and lay that Teflon sheet on. And just as I did on the board, I'll use my iron and iron that in place. I'm now going to sand off the edges of the entire board, and I'm going to make a little cut up at the top. I'm going to make a little cut towards the corner where the handle meets the paper. I think you can see that cut in the picture. This just avoids too much tension and the risk that I might tear my paper at the handle. So once everything is sanded off, now I want to address the holes. So here what I'm doing is I'm applying a little of that Wise Owl Matte 1 hour enamel in, and it's going to act as an adhesive. And I'm going to just kind of swirl my brush in that hole, and that is going to adhere the paper into that hole so it's not just loose in there. And now it is time to address the other side of the paper. So I'm going to do exactly the same process with the second design from that one sheet of paper. Once my decoupage paper is attached on both sides and everything's sanded off, I'm now sealing my paper. This is where you may go, oh my goodness, it's wrinkling, what am I going to do? This is something that naturally occurs when we put a water-based top coat on the paper, but again, just trust the process. Walk away. By the next day, you're going to notice that those wrinkles are gone. And so I'm sealing this because I'm going to be adding some stain in a little bit, just to kind of tie everything in together, and it gives it a beautiful aged look. But before I want to do that, I want to create a barrier between the paper and the stain. So once my sealer is on, I'll do both sides, drawing in between with my craft iron. And in a couple of places, I thought I'm just going to go ahead and use my Teflon sheet again just to iron over it again once that medium is dry on top of the paper. So again, I just lay my Teflon sheet on, use my hot iron with no steam, and just go ahead and iron across that. Now I'm using a gel stain and a t-shirt. Make sure you wear your gloves for this. I am always forgetting, but I'm really glad I did this time. And you can see how it's aging that paper, and I just think it gives it such a beautiful look. It also helps to tie in any areas where the paper is meeting another piece of paper. So all of a sudden it just takes on a really beautiful patina, and I love this. So I'm going to dry this and I'll stain the other side as well. And then I'm going to take some Wise Owl Heavy Metals Gilding Paint in bronze. And using a small artist brush, I'm going to paint the edges. Then I'm going to seal with 3 coats of Retiket's Triple Teak, which is a food safe sealer. And now we have our beautiful board. I think it would make a great gift. I hope you enjoyed this project and we'll come back for more. If you did enjoy this, I hope that you will like, share, and subscribe to my channel. Thank you so much for watching.